Top 5 world weapons in God of War Ascension. Hello and welcome to ExtremeGameplays, where I play games tirelessly. Today I decided to make a top 5. I haven't made a top 5 video in a hot minute, so I decided let's just return to the whole grind of making top 5s for God of War. Today's top 5 is about the awesome world weapons in God of War Ascension. God of War Ascension, released in 2013, introduced world weapons. Those would be weapons laying down on the ground and you could pick them up, or you could disarm enemies to pick their weapon up, which is basically the same thing. Some other world weapons you would get in a cutscene, so they were forced, but what's important is we have 5 amazing world weapons. And by the way, before I even start the video, I did not count the bare-handed mode as a world weapon, because that's really Kratos. I just decided to go with the weapons, so yeah, let's start the video right now. Let's not waste your time any longer. Coming in at number 5, we have the slingshot, or the sling, or I don't know what's even called. Now this, I really do not know what this is. Like, what does it do? What's it good for? Even the game felt shy for introducing this. It's like this. I think this is available only in one spot, and it's in the village of Kira. I still do not know how it works. Like, why would I take this over like literally any other world weapon? Like, every other world weapon has a purpose. It's good, but this one is just, let's move on to the number 4 spot. Coming in at number 4, we have the spears, the javelins. Now, this is only here because it doesn't really do as much as I would like it to do. Like, the damage output is pretty poor. It doesn't have a very great knockback option. Like, you could hold circle both on the ground and in the air, and Kratos does do a stronger spear toss, but it still does like nothing, I would say. Like, you have 30 spears that you can throw, and you can also throw your world weapons, like discard them, but Kratos does a very neat animation of discarding. It's not just discarding. And for the spear, it's beautiful. It's spears that are raining down on an enemy, and it looks cool, but the damage is just the damage is poor. Again, it looks good, and Kratos does throw it in the most beautiful Spartan stylish way, I guess, but it's still useless. Still much better than the slingshot, though. At least the discard option is good, or even when you run out of spears, the last spear you throw is just the spear raining again. Overall good, but not better than the number 3 spot. At number 3, we have the sword. Now, this is a very neat world weapon right here. Like, the amount of stuff you can do with it is awesome, especially this loop that you can do against the satyrs and even the satyr captain. It is a very neat world weapon. Like, you even look cool while using it and stuff. And it's good for other reasons, and it's orb farming. I remember in the demo where I would hold circle on the Cyclops, and I would just get red orbs a lot, but I didn't go all the way to max out the blades. But it's still good. It's good for farming or red orbs for yourself. Other than that, the thing is good. It does some neat damage, and you can kind of, as I said, loop enemies with this combo, square, circle. It looks cool as well. I guess the problem with this is that in the air, it's not that effective. It's only effective on the ground, but it is what it is. I really like this sword. It's better than the javelin and the slingshot, but not better than the number 2 and number 1 spot. But I just felt like including it in here. It's a very nice and neat weapon. Also, the discard option, you know, when you throw it with L1 and circle, Kratos stuns an enemy with it. It is very good. The throw is very nice. So that I should have mentioned that, and good thing I just did. So let's move on to the number 2 spot. Next up at number 2, we have my favorite, and it's the club. Now, you might be saying, Zesty, what do you mean it's your favorite, but it's at number 2? Allow me to explain. The club is a very nice and neat damaging tool in God of War Ascension. Like, it almost acts as a secondary weapon. Trust me, it is secondary weapon worthy. Like, you have a lot of moves: air circle, air holding circle, ground holding circle, roll into holding circle, which you have with other world weapons as well, but this one's very cool. You just have a lot of stuff with the club. But the most important one is the air holding circle. Now, this one can work against multitudes of enemies, and this kind of made me go ahead and do a no upgrade 1+ with the club only, not the number 1 spot that you'll see in a second. It is very cool learning the enemy patterns and just timing your jumps, and you also get more momentum in the air when you hold circle. So if you time this right, you can absolutely destroy an enemy, as you're seeing on the screen right now. And this is not very hard. You can try this against multitudes of other enemies. I don't know if I'm gonna have the footage for it, but I have tried it off screen in my no upgrade 1+. This thing shreds! It's the barbarian hammer, but halved, I guess. I don't know, it's weaker, it's not even close to the Barbarian Hammer, but it's just how you use it. And I have not forgotten the Air Circle, which is also really nice. It bounces the enemy, and you can loop the Satyr Captain and some other grunts with it. It is overall a really nice world weapon, and the toss is also awesome, although I don't know if I'm gonna have the footage for it, but the toss is amazing. Kratos throws it for an AoE attack, and it does not deal a lot of stun damage, but it does deal some great damage, so there's that. This is simply my favorite because if you find the enemy patterns, you can kind of loop this combo that I'm doing in the air right now, and you can shred them with the damage output. This works even on the Manticore, on a lot of enemies. So go ahead and experiment with it. The circle on the ground is a really nice knockback options, but for knockback we already have the punches that we can use. But overall, yeah, it is a really nice and good world weapon, and it is my favorite definitely. But number one is just number one, and it's just the best, and we all have to face it. At number one, we have the shield. The shield in God of War Ascension has a lot of tools. You can hold circle so that Kratos runs and then ends the combo with an attack. You can just go with the 3 circle combo. You can press circle in the air for a 3 circle attack. You can hold circle after rolling, just like all the other world weapons, and it's still good to some extent. But where this shield really shines is in the plumes. Yeah, so remember square triangle? Yeah, it's much weaker than the shield plume, by the way. So you're gonna have to go circle triangle, bitch. The original plume in God of War Ascension is not as strong as the shield plume, and the shield plume is just something else. You input circle triangle, and you output a really nice and fast plume, right? Wrong. The shield has a very neat little thing to it, and it's called nuking, because you literally nuke the enemies in front of you. What you're seeing on the screen is nothing short of carnage. What I'm doing is circle triangle, and I'm cycling between the elements with the D-pad, and you get all the element effects in one plume, and you can just shred enemies with this. No upgrade runs are kind of trivialized using this. Not a lot of encounters, but you know. The shield is just something else, man. It is so good. And it kind of brings me to why my favorite is the club. It's because the club has kind of like a skill leaning curve to it. I don't know how to describe it. Even though the shield, you do have to be careful sometimes, and your timing has to be right, and your positioning has to be right. Sometimes you want to get away from an enemy attack, then return with a plume nuke. But still, I prefer the club, because this one just requires a lot more going batshit stupid, if you know what I mean. But yeah, overall, if we're talking objectively, the shield is the best fucking world weapon in this game. Now, the world weapons are all cool except for the slingshot, but the shield is just unbeatable, honestly. Like, look at how I'm shredding these enemies. I'm straight up destroying these enemies with this shield glitch. It is just the stuff of legend. And honestly, yeah, there you go. That's it. That's top 5 world weapons from God of War Ascension. Let me know your favorite world weapon in God of War Ascension in the comments, please. With that, we reached the end of the video. It has been your Extreme Gamer Zesty. Peace!